welcome to Cooking with Steffi. Today we are going to make double chocolate chip cookies. Some of my favorite things to do. My best friend, she loves my regular chocolate chip cookies and she calls all the time and asks me to make some. So today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to make the double chocolate chip where the cookie base is chocolate. So yum yum. The first thing we're going to do is, well, before we even begin that, there are so many different types of mixers, but today we are going to use our handheld mixer. This one I like because it has a little rest on it, and it also has a little case just in case I want to keep all my tools, excess tools that go with it. So I picked the Hamilton Beach 6-speed, works wonders for me. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a cup of butter. It's actually 2 sticks. I have one already in there, and I'm going to add another stick. Because 2 sticks equal 1 cup of butter. Okay? And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2/3 cup sugar and 3/4 cup brown sugar. And I am actually going to blend this all together. So I'm going to blend the butter and the sugar together. I'm going to start on 1. Then I'm going to go up a little bit until it's a little bit fluffy. The next thing I'm going to add is my baking soda and my salt. It's about 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1/4 teaspoon salt. And I'm going to mix that in. Okay, and now we're going to add 2 eggs. You can blend the eggs, like scramble them a little bit, or you can just pour them in. I'm fine with that. I just pour mine right in the mix. And you mix it till the egg is all the way incorporated. And you'll have like a wet batter. Once my wet batter has been made, I actually stop using my mixer. Actually, let's take this off to make sure we get all of what we have. I'll put that to the side. I'll put that to the side. And then I'll bring in my spatula. And I'm going to add 2/3 cups of cocoa powder. As well as 2 1/4 cup of flour. And so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to hand mix all of that together so that we can make a dough. That wet and that dry is going to start mixing in together. And the dough is going to form. We're starting to get harder, have a little more resistance. And that lets you know that it's forming into a dough. And it's going to form into a ball. My cocoa should start getting glossy and you're going to see less of the flour. Such a simple way of making cookies. And so good all at the same time. And then my final little wet ingredient that'll bring the dough together is I use a teaspoon of vanilla flavoring. And after all of our ingredients have been mixed in and our dough is formed, put a little muscle into it. After our dough is formed into that ball, then I add the best part ever. So I add 2 cups of white chocolate chips and 1 cup of mini chocolate chips. I know, so chocolatey. Look at that. Oh my goodness. What you're gonna get, it's gonna taste like a cookie and a brownie all in one. It's so good. You just mix this all together till it forms your dough. Here's your cookie dough. Okay, our dough is ready, as you can see, and we began scooping our cookies. I just use a half tablespoon. Sometimes you can use a tablespoon depending on how big. We also have like a cookie scoop if you want to use a cookie scoop. And I just make sure that I use this scoop or the tablespoon so that it can be even. I put the cookies about maybe an inch apart from each other, a little over an inch. Be able to get a good dozen on this big pan, depending on the size of your pan. Have me a nice little cookie sheet. And I actually, this has become something that I've fallen in love with. I use a silicone mat a lot with a lot of the baking that I do because it makes it quick and it's so much easier, less mess. So I really enjoy using that silicone mat. I think I got that on Amazon, y'all. So all I'm gonna do is I'm going to bake it at the oven, 350 for about 10 minutes. 10 minutes, that's it. In 10 minutes, y'all, we're gonna have something ooey gooey and yummy. I'll see you in a minute. All right, you guys, out the oven and ready to go on the cooling rack. These look delish. And look, like I told you, so easy, stays clean, loving it. So, one thing that I do, this batch actually makes enough for maybe about 4 dozen. There's no way I'm gonna eat 4 dozen right now, so I make enough and put it in a freezer bag, and I put it in the freezer, and it lasts for about 3 months. It never lasts that long because I guarantee the boys are scooping some, and they are scooping and they are also baking. Another way that you can do it if your kids aren't old enough to scoop and bake, you can pre-scoop them, put them in balls, and put them inside a plastic container, a little Ziploc plastic container, and you can have the balls already pre-scooped so that kids can just take them out the freezer, put them in the pan, and go ahead and bake them. That's something really cool and easy for the kids. Afternoon snack, anytime snack, even yourself. So I'm going to give one of these a try, and then my son is going to try some of it. I'm not that much of a chocolate lover, but if you look in the middle, it looks just like a brownie in the center. It's nice and fudgy and soft and chewy. What do you think, Trey?
It's delicious.
It is so good. There are so many good recipes that you can find. As I'm going through, I'm gonna have so many shows, not just of sweets. It's gonna be so many different things. Some recipes you can find inside my book on Amazon, and if you don't find it in the book, it's gonna be on a show. So make sure you catch me again. I'm gonna catch you on the rebound. Have another sweet day.